Hennythemoor, reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? Hey, it's Friday. We finally done made it to the weekend, man. I know it's been a long, stressful, uneventful week for most of y'all, man. But we made it through. We persevered. We in here, man. So you know it's overtime for a liquor store run. So come on in, you know, tap in with your boy, and we're gonna get drunk on this Dallas Cowboy content together, man. So on your way into the liquor store, there are a couple of key things that y'all need to do for me, to help with the content and help with everything else that's going on, man. First and foremost, I need y'all to hit that like button. If y'all hit that like button for me, it's gonna help me manipulate this algorithm, and more folks will be able to find their way into the liquor store. The more that it's liked, the more that YouTube's gonna push it. And we definitely want as many people as humanly possible rocking with us, getting drunk and belligerent inside the liquor store with us. Second, the second thing you need to do is hit that share button for your boy. Because if you hit that share button, you will let everybody and their mama know that the liquor store is open for business, right? And they'll be able to find their way into the liquor store as well. All right, hey, matter of fact, I see some folks already sliding in and showing love to the channel, man. Justin Kitchen was good with you, man. Thank you for tapping in and showing love. Shout out to you, part of the Wrench Gang. Miss Regina Green, also part of the Wrench Gang. Salute to you. Jose Banks, salute to you. Jazzy Jill, salute to you. So, hey, I see y'all sliding in and showing love, man. I appreciate that. Most definitely appreciate that. Also, man, y'all know the key thing to do when you come off into a liquor store. When you come in a liquor store, I need y'all to slap the shit out of an Eagles fan. Because if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, I will be able to get you half off of all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And we know we got what you need to succeed, man. We got hen, we got gin, we got cowboy readers, and we even got the dreaded Eagle tears. We've been holding on to these since February. So they're getting stronger by the day. So, be careful when you participate with that. You might want to just put it up, on your shelf, in your liquor collection, your liquor cabinet as a collector's item. But I would not drink that. Eagles tears are collected from Eagles fans, and Eagles fans eat shit. So, be careful with that. So, man, now that I got that out the way, I do also need to remind y'all of one small little thing. We are still running this ticket raffle to send some good people to the Dallas Cowboy versus Eagles game at the AT&T Stadium. You will be able to go see the Dallas Cowboys beat the eyebrows out the Philadelphia Eagles live and in persons. Like they're going to beat them boys so bad they can't even blink. So if you are interested in going to this game, all you got to do is send $10 to $Hennythemoor, or you can send $10, to through the super chats or super stickers, and that will get you an entry. And we're doing this until the 1st of August. So you want to get in where you fit in, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the cash app for me, or hit the super sticker. So we're monetized now, thank God. Yo, Ruben Hernandez, what's up with you? Thomas Garrett Jr., what's up with you, man? Double R slide through the building, man. What's good? So thank all y'all for tapping in with me and showing your love and support. So now that is out of the way, man. Now that we done said all that needed to be said, we done got the little commercial out the way. We done said our greetings. Let's get into the content. So as y'all know, these last couple of days, man, I've been beating the table about what we're good at. I talked in depth about how good our wide receiving core was going to be this year, right? I talked about that. I talked in depth, about our defense, our safety room, our cornerback room, right? I talked about all the good things that we have going for ourselves right now, right? What I did not do, though, is talk about areas of improvement that we need to make in order to solidify our team completely. We did great by bringing in Brandon Cooks. Thank God for him. We did great by bringing in Stephon Gilmore. Thank God for him. But there are still areas on this team that the Dallas Cowboys must address, in order for us to sleep good at night. Right. This is right now. It's still a great team. This is one of the best rosters in the NFL. But there are things that we need to improve on. And no, Brian Bradford, you are right. There's not a gap. Our roster is very comparable to the Eagles. We might even have a better roster than the Eagles. I think I went through that yesterday. So when they talk about a gap, don't even worry about a gap. You can't have a gap. When you beat the shit out of a team every time that you play them. So don't worry about no gap. The gap is cap, as you said. And also Israel, what's up with you? He said he frying fish and listening to the Cowboys content these good Fridays. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Jay Money, what's up with you, man? King G, what's good with y'all? Thank y'all for tapping in with me, man. So we're gonna just flat out talk about what the hell we need to improve on. Right? We already know we got a good roster. We got great talent. Y'all already know how I feel about Dak being a top 10 quarterback. I think CD is elite. I think that this safety room and cornerback room is good. I don't really have that many questions on the offensive line as I originally did. So let's talk about the couple of areas where we do need to improve it. Because, we do have a slight handful of things. Nothing too major. Nothing that I think won't get resolved before the season is over. But let's just talk about it. And let's start with the obvious. Because we all been asking the Dallas. Yeah, Brian Bradford. You beat me to it. Let's start with the obvious. I think this is the most obvious one out there right now. The kicking position for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, at first glance, you say kicker. Like, man, kicker ain't nothing. A kicker really only gets on the field this amount of times and does this and that. Whoop-de-woo. But, we saw last postseason the importance of the kicker position in Dallas. We saw, all the craziness that happened with Brett Maher, how you say his name, when we got into the postseason. We see him miss all those extra points. We saw him miss, those field goals. So, he fell off a cliff after having a great regular season performance. Like, he played so well in the regular season, I was beating the table for him to make a Pro Bowl selection. Right? So, we know, how important that was. Because listen, if he makes his extra point in the 49ers game, then the entire complexion of that game changes. We go up 7-3 instead of going up 6-3, meaning the 49ers cannot tie the game, with a field goal like they did. We would have still had the lead, and when Dak Prescott ended up throwing that interception in the red zone on that 2nd and 2, right? We might have had a different strategy, different play calls. Yeah, he missed the first extra point. Right, so we instead of going up 7-3, we only went up 6-3. So instead of only being up by a field goal, we could have been up 7-3. Down there in the red zone. During that sequence where Dak threw the interception right after the Tony Pollard injury. So we might have even called a different play, had a different game plan, knowing that we could have went up 10. We could have went up 10-3. Instead of sitting on or morals and trying to go up 9-3, right? Or we could have been trying for I think that changed the trajectory of the game, really, because you call plays differently depending on field position, the score, like all those things, change, according to where you at on the field, the score at the time, So I think that does slightly change the outcome of the game. Right, because they can't tie the game with a field goal. They couldn't tie the game with a field goal, and you would have had the lead, at that point in the game. He said, JB, that made me that upset me as well. But I'm also say this: it's 2nd and 2 in the red zone. There was I know he threw the interception, but there was also not a reason to even go shotgun in that situation. It was under 2 minutes left in the game. You were in field goal position, and you were going to get the ball back after halftime. So if anything, the Dallas Cowboys should have been trying to run the ball, deplete the clock, at least attempt a field goal, right? And then, there wouldn't have been enough time left on the clock for them to drive the field, and then you would have got the ball right back after halftime. So you're either A, you run the clock all the way down and get the last score of halftime, or you run the clock all the way down, and kick that and you kick the field goal and they barely got any time to try to move the ball. So there are like doubling up in the NFL is hard. Like it never really happens. It never really happens, and you had a golden opportunity to do so. Right? That's one of the reasons why you deferred the ball to begin with anyway, to try and get that same exact outcome. It doesn't really come around that much, and they blew it. Yes, Kellen Moore threw him out to dry with that play call. And yes, there are several good kickers right now. Yeah, there are several good kickers. I keep bringing up Robbie Gould, and Robbie Gould is going to be my go-to kicker because he is the only kicker right now that comes to mind that has never missed in the postseason. He has not missed an extra point or a field goal in the postseason. So he is really his nickname. He is good as gold. He is good as gold when it comes to kicking these pressure kicks, the walk-off kicks. There's a lot of pressure on these kicks in the postseason. Yeah, Robbie Gould, my guy too, man. And listen, even though we lost Tony Pollard, that shit didn't matter. Dak Prescott was your leading rusher at that point in the game. So even though you lost Tony Pollard, Dak Prescott legs still worked. You could have called a quarterback run for him. Ezekiel Elliott was still in the game. You could have called a run for him. Malik Davis was still dressed and fully healthy, and they refused to give him a single carry. So, even though Tony Pollard got hurt, it was still 2nd and 2. It wasn't 2nd and, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11. There was no reason to go shotgun. He said, I've been watching Robbie Gould since his college days at Penn State. Okay, yeah, I like Robbie Gould. Matter of fact, let's look at our free agent options with kickers. Because Robbie Gould is the only guy that I bring up all the time. Right? I know y'all probably get tired of hearing about Robbie Gould. So let's look at some other free agent kickers. Even though he'll still be my first choice, let's look at the market for free agent kickers right at this point. All right, so free agent kickers, boom. I'm gonna get it pulled up, then I'm gonna share the screen. Hey, what's up? What you see, Nicole? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Salute to you. So real quick, we're gonna take a look at the free agent kickers, and anybody just now coming in, we are looking at the few areas that are deficient on the Dallas Cowboys. It's not many, but we got a couple of them. Give me 2 seconds so I can answer this phone call. All right, y'all, I'm back. Yo, what's up with you, Michael H? I see you, my boy. So now I'm finna go ahead and share this screen. And we're going to take a look at these free agent kickers all together. Because remember, Dallas Cowboys are great in a lot of areas. But we already know for one, like we ain't got no kicker. So let's just look at them. Right now, Mason Crosby is available. He kicked for the Packers for 100,000 years. Ryan Succop is also a pretty decent kicker. Robbie Gould, who we already mentioned. Randy Bullock. I like Randy Bullock. Zane Gonzalez, Brett, who is obviously a free agent for a reason after what he pulled in Dallas. So let's stop there. Anybody below Brett Maher, we're not even gonna waste our time and look at. So our options for a free agent kicker right now are Mason Crosby. Right, Mason Crosby is a good choice. Ryan Suckup is a good choice. Robbie Gould, Randy Bullock. I'll even take a flyer on Zane Gonzalez because if we're being honest, beggars cannot be choosers. We do not have any kicker right now, right outside of Vizcaino, who's young, inexperienced, and you can't really rely on a kid like that. You're going to war in the postseason. So in terms of the veteran kickers, we got some decent options. So let me take a look at what Mason Crosby's career kick percentage is. We'll just go player by player. Really, I don't care about their regular season. Let me see what Mason Crosby postseason stats are. Right, because remember, we had a good regular season kicker last year in Brett Maher. Brett Maher kicked his ass off in the regular season. I need somebody, to show up in the postseason. So let's see what Mason Crosby did. So let's look at him first. So boom, here's go. So Mason Crosby is 31 of 35 on field goals in the postseason, and he is 70 for 70 on extra points. So he has never missed an extra point, and he's only missed 4 field goals in the postseason. So let's do some quick little math. Let me find my calculator. 31 divided by 35. So he makes 88% of his postseason field goals. I feel good with that, don't y'all? If somebody makes 88% of their postseason field goals and they're 100% on their extra points in the postseason, that sounds like a reliable postseason kicker, does it not? Now, I don't know his overall leg strength. I don't know if it's fading on him. He is 38 years old. But Robbie Gould, who I want, is 40, right? So you don't have to be a spring chicken to be an excellent kicker. That's not a prerequisite at this point. It's not a prerequisite. So let's take a look. All right, so we got Mason Crosby down. Yo, what's up with your tummy? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my guy. Salute to you. Yeah, Michael H. I said, I have seen good teams lose multiple games coming down to the wire because of the kicker's inconsistency. Man, listen, I think we all have, bro. I think we all have. Let me see something real quick. Yo, what's up with you, Furio Boy 86? What's up with you, man? I think Zerline was old too. Lord King, what's up with you, man? I see you tapping in. Hey, I like your card too, my guy. Yeah, that mug hard, man. Desmond Ironman, what's up, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my brother. So age being young is not a prerequisite because Zerline was old. But you also think about Adam Vinatieri, how long he played. He was old, still making kicks at a high level. So, as long as you can put it through the uprights, age is not a factor. Kickers are like quarterbacks in terms of that. Quarterbacks play for a long time usually. No, Tom Brady was in his 40s by the time he retired. Brett Favre was in his 40s when he retired. Aaron Rodgers is close to 40 and he's still playing at a high level. So it's the same with kickers. Especially since it's not a physical, a super physical position. As long as they have the confidence, as long as they have the reps and they still have the power in their leg to kick, consistently, they can play forever. So, I just want the best kicker. But remember, I've been saying I want Robbie Gould, and Robbie Gould is 40. Robbie Gould is 40 years old. So let's take a look at the next kicker. Let's try Ryan Succop. All right, so let's take a look at Ryan Succop stuff. Yo, what's up, Big Benny Rich? Salute to you, my boy. We did have to have 2 60-yard kicks, right? So this is Ryan Succop. Ryan Succop in the postseason is 16 for 17 from field goals. And then in regards to extra points, he's 28 of 29. So all of those are great marks as well. He's only missed 1 field goal. He's only missed 1 extra point. So he makes 94% of his postseason kicks. And he makes 96% of his extra points. So far, all these guys that I'm looking at are showing that they can handle kicking in postseason. Yo, what's up with you, Miss Patrice? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Then my boy said, I'm happy McCarthy is calling plays, helping Dak out for sure. Dak is going to be a monster this year. Eagles and nobody else touching us. I completely agree with that, man. I completely agree. And then it's a real quarterback friendly scheme. West Coast principles allow him to get the ball to his playmakers in a timely manner. It's not going to be a lot of option routes. He'll be able to throw with anticipation and trust his wide receivers to be there. So, I do like this. It's not going to be a lot of guessing. It's going to be Dak Prescott processing the defense and throwing the ball accurately and on time. Right. So we're going to take all the guesswork out of it. And I like that. Hey, Miss Patrice said she down like 4 flats. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, my boy said blue, silver, and gold. Yeah, I rock with him. So far, we looked at 2 guys. We looked at Mason Crosby. That he makes most of his kicks in the postseason. Ryan Succop makes most of his kicks in the postseason. I can't say the same about Brett Maher. I can't say the same. Matter of fact, let's look at Brett Maher for comparison. So Brett Maher. Jesus. So Brett Maher only made 75% of his field goals, and he is 6 of 11 on extra points. So he kicked 6 extra. He made 6 of his 11. He only making 54% of his extra points in the postseason, and that really came back to bite the Dallas Cowboys. Right, so we know that did not work out well. Yeah, he got the yips, and it was over with. No, we're actually talking about positions of need on the Dallas Cowboy. That's what we're talking about, areas of improvement. So this is only the first position group that we're talking about that needs improvement. And after this, we will be touching on different positions that need more help than what's currently on the roster. But I appreciate you for tapping in, though. Smoke one for you. So, yeah. So if and listen, that might have caught some of y'all by surprise if you just came in. So I ain't tripping on that. So we're just going through different areas on the team that do need improvement. So we're gonna start with the obvious one. Hey, just because there's no such thing as being late into the liquor store. This is the liquor store. We are open. And we got what you need to succeed. So come on in, man. No such thing as being late into the system, my boy. We just appreciate you for sliding through and patronizing with us. So salute to you, my boy. Right, they were actually in a couple of games because he only kicked 5 extra points that first game, and then because he missed extra points in these last 2 games. Hey, it's all good. It's too easy. I hope your pop's doing better, man. I hope your pops is doing better. He said running back is a position. I think that the depth at the running back room is an issue, and we are actually going to talk about it. So, true Cowboys fan, 1972, we will, talk about that. But there is actually a position that I don't think people are really thinking about. But we'll touch on that shortly. Yeah, 4 straight missed field goals in a playoff game. Then he missed a extra point, the following week. So yeah, he definitely deserved to get walked out the door by HR. So let's take a look at this next kicker. Right. So let's take a look at Robbie Good as Gold, who I've been beating the table for the Dallas Cowboys to sign. And you see he don't miss. He just don't miss. 29 for 29 from field goals from varying ranges. 39 for 39 on extra points. Robbie Gold just don't miss. Mr. Good as Gold. That track record says I want him expeditiously. He should have been a Dallas Cowboy a month ago. Yeah, bring Robbie in. And listen, I looked at every one of these guys just to be fair and be impartial. You know what I'm saying? I looked at all of them to be fair and impartial. Because realistically, if we get either one of these guys, our kicking position will be better. But Robbie Gold ain't never missed. At this rate, he ain't ever gonna miss. Right? So, and listen, this man made 8 field goals just this year. In the postseason this year, Robbie Gold made 8 damn field goals. He made 8, kicked 8. Kicked 5 extra points, made 5 extra points. So Robbie Gold made 8 postseason kicks this playoff run. So, he still got it. He still got it. So, yeah, bring him in. Bring him in expeditiously. So, yeah, so that's who I want us to sign expeditiously. Because we need him. We need him. So that's the area of improvement that was pretty much glaring, right? Nobody in their right mind could sit there and say that the Dallas Cowboys were not in need of a kicker. So I went ahead and got that one out the way. I went ahead and got that one out the way. So let's go further, right? Let's go further. Somebody brought up running back. Tony Pollard is a great running back. He's a Pro Bowler. He averaged over 5 yards a carry last year. He averaged about 6 yards a touch last year. But we're talking about a particular position group. We're talking about a positional group. So when you look at the group as a whole, when you look at the running back room as a whole, that is definitely going to be an area, for improvement, based on what's currently on the roster. Now, granted, there is a possibility for some young upstart pup to come in, and provide a boost, provide a spark. But when I'm going into a season, when I'm going to war, I need to know my comeback capabilities. When I'm going to war, I need to know my full combat capabilities so I'm able to adapt to any situation. Right now, the only running back that I know anything about is Tony Pollard. And even with Tony Pollard, right, because I already said that he's a great running back. I believe that he's going to play so well this year, the Dallas Cowboys won't be able to re-sign him. Even with that said, Tony Pollard only averaged 14.5 touches a game last year, and that's rushing and receiving touches. So rushing and receiving, he only averaged 14.5 touches a game last year. We're asking Tony Pollard now to go from 190, rushing attempts to probably go up to 240, 230. We're asking at this point for Malik Davis, who only has 38 career carries, to step in and take up the slack and get 100 or 120 and 130 carries when he really didn't do it in college because he was hurt all the damn time, right? So there are a lot of unknowns, right? There are a lot of unknowns about the running back room as a whole. I'm not saying it's a flat out weakness, right? I'm not saying it's a flat out weakness, but what I am saying is I don't think Ronald Jones is going to make the team, right? I think he's a camp body. So with that said, you might as well bring in another running back, for actual competition. He said, I would take Pollard, Malik, Vaughn, and Luke K and would do so much damage. Listen, we are expecting those good things from them, all based on projection. We believe that they will do that because we seen game tape from college. We seen this, that. We seen the advanced analytics and all the other stuff. But just because we project it to be does not mean that it is going to be. We projected that Jalen Tolbert would be in the talks for Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. We projected that Jalen Tolbert would be a guy that can come in and give us out the gate 700 yards and some touchdowns. Like a lot of people were expecting a lot of things from him. But as we do know, the learning curve is not always the same for every player. They might not be ready year one to come in and take over a workload like that. Some of them might be best suited year one, for a complementary role. They might need to be. We're looking for a running back 2, and we might have a team full of running back 3s outside of Tony Pollard, right? Because listen, I do believe in them, but at the same time, belief is just like faith. You got to believe in something that is unseen. This is just like religion. You never seen God, but you believe in God, right? We did, but Kellen Moore obviously have a playbook meant for only number 1 wide receivers and backs. LOL, option route king. He was. Yes, he definitely was an option route king. And, and that does play into some of it, right? Play design, how they fit into the scheme schematically, placement, who's throwing in the ball, because we know that Dak Prescott missed time last year. There's a lot of things that play into whether somebody is successful or not, right? But because Brian Schottenheimer runs a lot, like that's really an understatement. That is an understatement for the volume of runs and carries that are expected of his running backs. Because of that, you need, a tandem of running backs like you had last year. Like you need somebody that if Tony Pollard gets dinged, you don't mind giving them 30 the ball 30 times. And if they get dinged, you wouldn't mind giving Tony Pollard the ball, so on and so forth. Like if you go back and you look at the sheer volume of carries, involved in Brian Schottenheimer's offense. Matter of fact, let's do it right now. Let's just go back. Let's go back. 2018 Seattle Seahawks. I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. See, look at all the bags he had in 18, 19. Look at the back stats, weight, and all that. All right, let's do it then. Let's show what I'm on right now. So 2018. So these are the backs for Seattle. Chris Carson ended up getting 247 carries that year. Now, and that was in 14 games, right? He didn't play a full 16 games. He ended up with 247 carries. Mike Davis was the next running back. He had 112 carries. Right. So Rashad Penny, and we know his injury history. He ended up getting 85 carries. Right. So between those three backs, it was 247 attempts by Chris Carson, 112 attempts by Mike Davis, and then they threw in another 85 attempts. So between those three running backs alone, there was 444 attempts. Right. So the running backs got the ball 444 times. You know, that's a lot of carries. That is a lot of carries. And I'm just saying, Tony Pollard has only ever rushed the ball 191 times. So with that said, there's 253 carries left to distribute. So even if Tony Pollard, let's go even further. Let's say Tony Pollard, get the same amount of carry that Zeke did last year. Let's say that Tony Pollard got 232 carries. Right. Let's say that Tony Pollard got 232 carries this year. Well, there's still 212 carries that somebody else got to take up. How many carries are y'all comfortable giving Malik Davis, knowing that he only has 38 career carries? How many carries are you comfortable giving Deuce Vaughn, and he ain't never took a single carry in the NFL? Like, these are questions we need to ask ourselves, about how we really feel about our running back room. Granted, all these guys got upside. Nobody is talking about their potential. Talk about the size and weight. Let's click on it real quick. Mike Davis, 5'9", 220. So he's already bigger than Tony Pollard. At least in terms of weight. Because Tony Pollard like 210 or some shit like that. Chris Carson's 222. So let me see. Tony Pollard is 209. We already know Malik Davis ain't that big. He's 207. So, they are much bigger. It's going to have to be, in like preseason or camp. Because this is what I think they're going to do, bro. This is what I think they're going to do. They are going to give them a chance to prove themselves before they bring somebody else in. It may be right before the regular season. It may be during training camp. It may be at some point in the preseason. But they are going to bring in, another running back if these guys cannot show that they can handle the workload. So we're looking here. He had a pair of 220-pound backs. Tony Pollard 209, Malik Davis 207. Like, how healthy are they going to stay? Because believe it or not, there is going to be a time that they have to go up the middle. It may not be as often they ran Zeke up the middle, but there's going to be times where the weakness in the defense is going to be up the middle. Now, see, this is the thing. They can still work in the zone run scheme, right? Because, prior to this, right? Because even though they were running a zone run scheme before Brian Schottenheimer got there. He just brought his version of the West Coast offense. He brought the volume in which they ran the ball with him. But Marshawn Lynch ran in a zone scheme, and he went crazy. So there are guys. Look, Shady McCoy ran in the zone scheme, made it. I just talked bad about the man yesterday, but as a regular season performer, he had great statistics. He was an all-decade player. So it's really just about the player's vision. The vision of the running back and their ability to get to the cutback is more important, in a zone scheme than size or anything. Because we seen scat backs like Shady be dominant, and then we seen power backs like Marshawn Lynch be dominant in the same scheme, right? So I have no doubts in my mind that Tony Pollard can excel in a zone run scheme, but at the same time, running the ball as often they're going to be running the ball, is going to be some questions and marks about how healthy these guys are going to stay. Deuce Vaughn will probably look good, in a zone run scheme. But is Deuce Vaughn at 5'5", under 200 pounds, going to survive getting blown up, by linebackers and getting caught by defensive tackles from time to time? Is he going to survive that through a 17-game season? Is Tony Pollard, coming off of a leg injury, going to survive, an added workload? Yeah, thank you. Raheem Mostert did good in his own run scheme too. And that is why there was talks about him possibly getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys if Dalvin Cook was to sign with them. Like that was a rumor. So, I think the Dallas Cowboys should be interested in bringing in a running back. Is it outside of Zeke? What's up with your axe, pal? Is it outside of Zeke? Who do you think would be a good addition to this team, G? If we're talking about running backs, let's just take a look at the running back market. Because there's not a lot. Well, let's be honest. If we're talking about a backup running back, if we're talking about just a relief running back, Zeke is a great fit still. You can bring in Leonard Fournette because right now he's still better than what you currently have on the team in terms of a backup. If you wanted to get expensive, right? And I like getting expensive when it doesn't involve me spending money, right? You can bring in Dalvin Cook. There's some running backs out here, man. There's still some running backs out here that you can get a bang for your buck for. Oh yeah, no doubt. But that's the thing though. Like there's a different physicality to the NFL game. So, I believe in him, but I also need to see him do it at the NFL level. And even then, I still would be more comfortable. Do I not like Hunt? Kareem Hunt done fell off, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Kareem Hunt still has a name, but Kareem Hunt ain't really did much in the last couple of years. So let me just look at Kareem Hunt stats real quick. Because he ain't really did much. And listen, we can't say we don't want Zeke because he was only averaging 3.9 yards a carry and turn around and bring in Kareem Hunt when he only averaged 3.8 last year. So yeah, Kareem Hunt only averaged 3.8 yards a carry last year. He only had 468 yards on 123 carries. The year prior to that, of course, he got hurt, but he did not stay around long enough to have good production. He really ain't had a real dynamic season since 2017, bro. So really only Cook would fit with us, size, speed, and vision. In terms of vision and cutback, you're like Zeke could probably play in his own run scheme too. You know what I'm saying? Like Cook excels at it, but I think Ezekiel Elliott would be fine. Like I mentioned in terms of Marshawn Lynch, you don't have to be an absolute burner. You just gotta have vision. Ezekiel Elliott still had vision. It's just the way that the run scheme worked last year. Only thing they did was Zeke was running up the damn A gap. Matt Leslie, what's up with you? So yeah, like they all they did for Zeke last year was design runs to go right up the middle into the A gap or the B gap into the teeth of the defense, and they relied on him leaning against the defense to get yardage. Right, they just use him as a battering ram. But if you give Ezekiel Elliott an option to either go with the play or set up a cutback lane, depending on the flow of the defense, I think that he'll be fine in that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind bringing Zeke back. I think I really do believe he can play inside of that scheme, because he has the vision. We know that he can hit the hole. We know he can get to the cutback lane. So we know he can do that. He hasn't been asked to do that since 2019, but he definitely can do it. It's been a long time since he had any good blocking. Yeah, and listen, we got. I think if we allow Tyron Smith to play left tackle and Tyler Smith to play left guard, we resolve a majority of our blocking issues this year. I think we resolve a majority of our blocking issues this year. Yeah, and it's really with the run scheme more than was Ezekiel Elliott. I think it was more the run scheme than Zeke. Yo, what's up with you, Night Owl? I see you, my boy. So yeah, so we talked about that. Running back depth is definitely going to be an area of improvement for this team. Kicker is going to be an area of improvement for this team going forward. And let's go even further, right? Now y'all may or may not agree with this. Hey, shout out to Patrice Langford for the $5 super chat. She says, I have to say this off subject. I'm moving and selling things. I placed a TV on offer up. An Eagle fan want to buy it. I'll throw it away first. Hey, y'all make sure y'all go check out Miss Patrice and the merchandise she's trying to sell, man. And salute to you, Miss Patrice. So hypothetically, you taking Cook or Zeke? That is a tough one. And I'm going to tell you why it's a tough one. Because Dalvin Cook is more of a good thing that I already have. I already have an explosive runner. I already have somebody that can affect the pass game. I already have somebody that can hit their head on the goalpost at any given time. But having a Tony Pollard clone, it's not a bad thing at all. With Ezekiel Elliott, even though at this point in his career he's not the running back that Cook is. Ezekiel Elliott brings another dimension to the team because he is an actual short yardage back. He's an excellent pass blocker. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what you want to do, in terms of the offense. If you feel that you need a short yardage back, a pass blocker, a leader, and that's a guy that already proven he can lead in that locker room, then you take Zeke. If you want another dynamic back, like Tony Pollard, and you're not caring about if they can pass block or get short yardage and things like that, then you get Cook. It going to depend on what they, value the most. And also, realistically, we're talking about the most realistic person the Dallas Cowboys would pick up. It's going to be Zeke because Ezekiel Elliott will be cheaper. Right? Cook talking about getting, top money, and Ezekiel Elliott we probably can bring back for a veteran minimum. Hey, it's no problem, my boy. I do thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. But hey, for real though, y'all may or may not agree with this, but linebacker is sneakily a position of some concern. And I'm going to tell you why. One, your middle linebacker right now is Leighton Vander Esch. And Leighton Vander Esch, does not even have the green dot. The green dot belongs to your safety, Jaron Curse. Jaron Curse is technically your middle linebacker by default because he has to be on the field all the time. He has to be in the box all the time. He's the one making the defensive adjustments, right? And we also know that Leighton Vander Esch, even though he did play great down the stretch, is often injured. Like, his body has failed him more times than not. Yeah, so linebacker is sneakily, a position of need. And before y'all say anything, we just got Overshown. Overshown is a rookie. Overshown is a rookie, and he's not a traditional middle linebacker. That boy has a safety background. Now, I do believe in him. I think he'll be a great linebacker eventually, right? But right now, your starting middle linebacker, does not even have the green dot, and he's often injured. You got Devin Harper, who has not really played a lot of football. You got Jabril Cox, who can't get on the damn field. You got Damone Clark, who has not played that much football. He came in like week 8 off of a back injury. I expect him to be better, but he is very inexperienced, right? You got a lot of inexperience in this linebacking room. So that is why I was so adamant about the Dallas Cowboys trying to add a player like Bobby Wagner. I was very adamant about them going out and signing Bobby Wagner, who just made a damn All-Pro selection last year. Right? A lot of people were saying Bobby Wagner is washed up. That boy had over 100 tackles, had like 6 sacks, had an interception, made an All-Pro team. Like, he went crazy, and he was sitting right there, and then he signed for peanuts. Yeah, he played well. Don't get it twisted. He played well. But we're just talking about experience right now. You don't have an actual linebacker you can get a green dot to. You don't have an actual linebacker you can get the green dot to. Action pal, I would take Deion Jones at this point. Is he still on the market? If he's still on the market, I would sign Deion Jones in a heartbeat. So for the linebacker position, you actually have to hope that Maji Smith is who the hell we expect Maji Smith to be, because you are actually dependent on Maji Smith stepping in, playing well, and eating up enough space to keep your linebackers clean. Now, if your linebackers can stay clean, they can play better, they can play faster, they can get to the backfield faster, make plays on the quarterback and these running backs, at a higher clip. But the linebackers themselves, so there's question marks. I think Damone Clark is going to be great eventually. I think Devin Harper will be great eventually. I think Overshown will be fine. But we're talking about the present. We're talking about the present right now. And really, when you look at LVE, that boy playing out of position. When Leighton Vander Esch made his All-Pro selection, right? When he made his All-Pro selection, when he was a defensive, on the defensive team, rookie defensive team, I think he won Defensive Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. But when he had his best season, Leighton Vander Esch was an outside linebacker. He was not no middle linebacker. Yeah, he said, I want to destroy you in the middle, bro, like Fihoko as a glorified walkthrough minute. Yeah. Yeah, real talk, though. But, hey, I like Junior Fihoko, too. And you know that they saying they're going to play him at 3 more than they're going to play him at defensive end. And I like that. You know, adding quality defensive tackle depth, no matter how you do it, is always a win, especially when your team struggles to stop the run. Oh, I gotta talk shit to an Eagles fan. Give me 1 second. I like that a 3 tech with a motor. Oh, he said he think that Fihoko could be a Pro Bowl player. I like that. And listen, I think Osa is good right now, right? You know, I think Osa is good right now. But, you know, you never have too many defensive tackles. Oh, yeah, they horrible people. Most of them are horrible people. There's a couple of them I rock with. But most of them are horrible little shit eaters. All right, they fine though. Listen, they can talk. They talking shit on the video, so that's all that matters. As long as they spent the time, they put their eyes on the video, and you know, give the video a click and a view and a reaction, so this algorithm can put it out in the world. You know, I'm happy with that. You know, let them jump on here and talk shit as long as they want to, because it pays us now. You know what I'm saying? We get paid to get hated on now, folks. We made it in the liquor store. We made it. We get so yeah. So you may or may not, you know, agree with the linebacker take, but you know, we just don't really have a proven middle linebacker at this point, right? And matter of fact, we could even put it like that. We don't have a middle linebacker. Middle linebacker would be a concern. Because, you know, I think if you just ask Damone Clark and Devin Harper to see ball, get ball, and use their athleticism and chase boys down, I think they'll be fine doing that. If you move Leighton Vander Esch back to outside linebacker, I think he'll play fine doing that. It just, I don't think you got a brain for the middle of that defense. Yeah, man. So I want Schoonmaker to make us all eat crow, so I don't have to watch the players we could have had. You man, you know I fool with Drew Sanders. That boy played it, man. That boy played at Arkansas last year, man. Yeah, we don't have a true middle linebacker. Oh, listen, we're significantly better just by going from Noah Brown to Brandon Cooks. We got significantly better just by going from Anthony Brown to Stephon Gilmore. Right? We got significantly better just by going from Kellen Moore to Mike McCarthy. If none of the guys we drafted pan out, we'll still be a better team than we were last year. If not, listen, if not a single. See, that what's caused by sounds weird, but I feel defy again. Okay. But hey, shout out to you, Raymond. Thank you for tapping in, my boy. But yeah, listen, a single guy that we drafted does not have to even pan out, and we're a better team than we were last year. Just because we got rid of guys that were liabilities, and we added guys that are proven playmakers. Like up the liquor store. Yeah, man. Hey, let's take a short like break. We're actually very close. I got 36 people in the liquor store right now, and I got 31 likes. So anybody that ain't liked the content yet, please hit that like button. Anybody that ain't hit that share button yet, please hit that share button. And anybody that has not seen my little impromptu commercial, we're still running that ticket raffle. It's $10 per entry. You can either send it through Cash App, which is $Hennythemoor, or you can send it, through super chats and super stickers. So, if you want a chance to win a ticket to go to the Dallas Cowboy home game against the Philadelphia Eagles, hit that Cash App, hit that super chat, hit that super sticker. Miss Patrice, you're $5 away from getting yourself another entry. So salute to you. Lee Harrison has stepped into the building. Salute to you. Hey, and DQ systems do. Let me see something. And DQ systems do he value true linebackers or the third safety on the field? It depends on the quality of linebacker that he has. Because Dan Quinn, when he won his Super Bowl with Seattle, had Bobby Wagner. When he went to Seattle, he implemented the third linebacker system that he uses today. So you are right. This is what Dan Quinn likes to do when he got the chance to coach his own team. That's what he went to. That's the defensive system that he prefers. But if you have a super quality linebacker, he will play you. The issue though is we don't have anybody to force Dan Quinn to play him. Okay, that's the bet then, Miss Patrice. I got you. Miss Patrice. He said, but what'd you say about Noah Brown? He said Noah Brown was done after he could not handle the onside kick in Tampa. Oh yeah, listen, he was gone. Listen, he was gone after the Jacksonville game, bro. Let's be honest. He was gone after the Jacksonville game. After that ball, bounced off Dak and turned into a pick six. I knew then he was not coming back. And hey, I appreciate that. Miss Patrice, she said like 4 flats indeed on the Cadillac. He said, wasn't Gus Bradley the head DC before Dan Q into Seattle? I don't know. Let me see. Yes, 2012 is when he came in. So Gus Bradley was the defensive coordinator from 2009 to 2012. Yeah, so he was there Russ rookie year. And then I think they won the championship like 2 years after Bradley left. So yes, that you are correct. He was. He was. Yeah, we all cringed to every ball that went to the winning no brown direction. No shot to the young man. But he had some issues, at different points. We know that he did not get a lot of separation. We know about the play in Jacksonville. So there were some issues. But yo, man, I appreciate y'all for tapping into the liquor store and showing love to the channel. I gave y'all an hour of some premium Dallas Cowboy content. So I appreciate y'all for the love and support. So, thank y'all for coming through. I'll probably be live later on tonight. The show and rock out with West Coast. Probably do a show with West. To be honest, Henny, what we're really thinking about having Gallup and Lamb only. Oh, I was shook. Only having Gallup and Lamb, and Gallup coming off of an injury. I knew from the start of the season that there would be a lot of questions. Yeah, we'll check it out, man. I definitely will check that out, Action Pal. So it is a good Jew, man. We will look into it. But yo, thank all of y'all, man. You said thank me, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for showing support, showing love. On the way out the liquor store, continue to hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that cash app, hit that super chat, man. Hey, I appreciate the support, the love, and I will be back later on, man. Peace and God.